Hey guys, Jurassic here, and before we get started with the review, I will say that the Godzilla 2 trailer just dropped. Yeah, the trailer just dropped, and I'm gonna share you my quick thoughts on the trailer. I really like the trailer. It's honestly one of the best trailers I've ever seen, in a Godzilla movie, a heck of any movie. Um, it's an amazing trailer. We definitely get a lot more kaiju action. We get to see a lot more of what the movie's going to be about, and we do get glimpses of what other kaiju may appear. But each kaiju that we actually are shown, we clearly see Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and King of the World. They all look badass. Like they all are definitely going to be the selling point of this movie. I'm definitely looking forward for the movie. So those were my thoughts on the trailer. Now I was going to film a breakdown video, but I couldn't do it because I didn't want it to risk copyright. And I don't really make those kind of videos, breakdown videos. I tried, but I couldn't. But today I'm gonna start with my first review of the Millennium Week, which is basically me reviewing every single Godzilla movie right here that I have, and this that I got yesterday for my birthday. It's 7 Godzilla movies, 6 of them which are all the Millennium movies, which are Godzilla 2000, Godzilla Mechagodzilla, GMK, the 2 Kiryu Saga movies, Final Wars, and of course we got one Heisei movie right here, which is Godzilla Mechagodzilla 2, which I'm going to review tomorrow. Right now we're going to review Godzilla 2000 right there. See, there it is, right there. I'm going to review this one, Godzilla 2000, Millennium. So I'm going to share with you my thoughts on the movie as I just finished watching it, and here I am with these 2 guys right here. That's the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2000 figure from Yuji Sakai, and that's my pipe cleaner version of Godzilla 2000 right here. Haven't made a video of him. I am probably gonna make a video of him later on, but right now I'm gonna show you my thoughts on the movie. I like the movie. I think it's a pretty solid Godzilla movie. It's not the best kind of Godzilla movie though. It's definitely sort of an average kind of Godzilla movie. It follows the usual tropes that you see in a Godzilla movie, but it's not the kind of average movie that you're thinking. It's the good kind of average. It definitely has its good moments. It has its clever moments. I would say if you've seen Omniviewer's review of Godzilla 2000, he says a lot of things that it's a pure Godzilla movie and that it encompasses a lot of things Godzilla. I would actually agree with him. It does encompass a lot of the things that you see in a Godzilla movie. Godzilla's role. Usually Godzilla has portrayed 3 roles. I know he's played many, but he has 3 roles. He's got the villain role, the hero role, and the force of nature role. In this movie, Godzilla 2000, he basically plays all 3 roles, in the beginning of the movie. Now, I don't want to go into too much spoilers, consider it. For some of you who haven't seen Godzilla 2000, well, okay, I might get into some spoilers, because I imagine you've already seen Godzilla 2000. But, in the beginning of the movie, the GPN, which is the team that goes around finding Godzilla and tracking him down, they're basically like storm hunters, but for kaiju. They label Godzilla as just a force of nature. He's not here to attack or to save. He's just here to live life, basically. But then the military and the CCI, which is the Crisis Control Intelligence, they label him as a villain. Like he's just here to attack and just destroy. At the end of the movie, he becomes the hero, where he saves humanity from Orga, the alien that mutates into that monster named Orga that tries to steal his DNA, which we are going to get to him. But yeah, Godzilla, basically in this movie, they adapted him into the 3 roles, into 1, as you can see. Now, I am going to talk a little bit about Godzilla's design and just how he is a little later, but right now, let's get to the plot. The plot of the movie is actually not that complex. It's not like you need a Shakespearean logic to understand everything. Like this, the plot of the movie is not that crazy. You got GPN, which I already mentioned is the kaiju, hunting organization, kind of like Monarch, but not really like Monarch, that tries to monitor and predict Godzilla's landfalls on wherever he makes. Meanwhile, there's another organization that tries to rival GPN, by using Godzilla or finding Godzilla, trying to kill him, and trying to find a new energy source. And they discover a UFO at the bottom of the ocean. The UFO submerges and it basically becomes attracted to the sunlight, and it finds Godzilla, swipes takes away a lot of its DNA to try to become another monster, and the alien mutates into the monster Orga, which Godzilla fights, and they have a showdown at the end of the movie, and then you have a little bit of human rivalry, and you have a little bit of, just enough substance to keep you invested in what's going on. So, see, nothing complex about the story. It's just straightforward, It's nothing really that complex. Human characters, I would say, are not the most they're not exactly the most interesting human characters ever, but you do understand the human character. Like you understand them. You can get invested in them. They're not annoying, or they're not really that all that three-dimensional, but you can understand them. You can at least get behind who they are and somewhat get invested in them. And like when there's no monster scenes in the movie, I would say you become attached to them. Like you don't get bored. At least you become interested in what they're saying. A lot of the things they're saying is mostly expositional. Like that's how it kind of is in kaiju movies. They say a lot of exposition and try to say describe things around them. But in this movie, there's exposition, yeah, but they also have their own little situation they got to deal with. You got the two characters, Katagiri, who's the founder of CCI, and the founder of GPN. I forgot his name. Sorry if I forgot his name, but the founder of GPN founder, Yuchi Senor, was that his name? Yuchi? Was that his name? I forgot. Yeah, I forgot the main character and the bad guy, the human bad guy of the movie. Yeah, they have their own rivalry. They have their own past. They have their own, opposite views that put them at odds with each other. The human, there's a bit of human conflict in there, but it doesn't go that far. It doesn't go very over the top. It doesn't go I'm gonna kill you for this, or it's think about how in the Jurassic Park movies, which I've already reviewed back in June, so I recommend you guys check out my reviews on Jurassic Park. It's like in Jurassic Park where the human characters are not full-on villains, or they're not super complex. They're just had conflicting ideas, conflicting views, so kind of here. Oops, sorry. So they're kind of here. The human characters are they have their own views and they have their own little rivalries, and you become interested in them. You can at least see where they're coming from. Even if you don't fully care about the human characters, they at least don't go over the top. They don't go they don't really piss you off. So that's with the human characters, and the story is pretty simple. As for Godzilla himself is easily the best thing in the movie. I like this Godzilla design. Now, I know this is a pipe cleaner. This is not the actual thing. As you can see, modeled it a little off of the Heiesi monster arts. Anyways, the design of Godzilla, I really like. And I really like his huge lightning spines. I like his green skin texture, his crocodilian face, and his long, pointy tail right there, as you can see. Let me get this guy. Oops, sorry about that. Put this right here. Put that right there. So this is my SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2000 right here from UC Sakai. As you can see, it's a pretty badass looking Godzilla design. As you can see, it's got the huge spines and got the long crocodile tail, and got the feet as well. The feet are very different. Past versions, they're more spread out and they're more dinosaurian, as you can see, and even the face right there, as you can see, it's a lot more angular. It's a lot more lizard-like, a lot more dinosaurian, crocodile-like, which is very different than than past examples. It's almost like an updated version of the King Goji suit, and the King Goji suit is the one that appeared in King Kong vs. Godzilla. But yeah, Godzilla himself is easily the best thing in the movie. He fights Orga, and speaking of Orga, he's the second best thing in the movie. He's the enemy monster. When you go in and see this movie, you don't really expect Godzilla to fight another monster. Okay, the trailers do show that, but they don't really go spoilerific. They don't outright. From the outside, the movie doesn't outright say that Godzilla's gonna fight another monster. It's not like Godzilla 2014, where the movie's just called Godzilla, and yet there's monsters in there, But Godzilla 2014 was a great movie, and this movie was pretty good. I would say, are there any problems with it? There were. The CG is not very good. You can tell that this movie was very rushed. It went through a very rushed production. This movie was trying to this movie was made in response to the horrific 1998 Abomination from Roland Emmerich. So this movie, you can tell it didn't quite have the luxury of polishing everything and making sure everything was was flawless. Like you can tell the CG didn't quite look that good. It doesn't really go all that out. It's just kind of, like I said, it's just kind of average. The good kind of average, but it's just kind of average. It doesn't really go all that out. And the quick pacing in the movie, I mean, the movie does go by pretty quick, but it doesn't quite allow for strong character development or really like things that were really enticing you. But you at least get along with it. You at least understand. You at least the things that are in the movie just kind of win you over, anyways. They're not gonna really enticing you. They're not gonna really like, I don't know, say that, oh, this is great, or oh, I love this. Like you're like, oh, this is pretty good, I would say. So yeah, that was my little review of Godzilla 2000. As you can see, I did want to mention other things, but I just don't really have a lot of time right now. So yeah, my review is kind of rushed, much like the production of Godzilla 2000 right here. Oh yeah, I did want to mention one thing. Another really big flaw with this movie is that it removes the Japanese subplot. If you have the Japanese version, even though I don't have it, I have seen the Japanese version. They mentioned that the alien, the UFO, was looking through the files, and that deleted scene shows that the alien monitors, like the monitors on the computer, says the word Millennium, and that's where the title of the movie comes from, Godzilla 2000 Millennium, because the aliens in the movie were trying to colonize Earth for 1,000 years. Well, spoilers, but still, yeah, like that whole subplot that you see in the Japanese movie removed in the American version. Like, I'm like, if they had included it, I think that would have been a little bit more interesting. I think the movie would have been a lot more, like, I think that would have been a lot more intriguing idea, because, well, it would have been a lot more intriguing. So, like I said, the movie is just kind of average. It's just not really all that spectacular, all that amazing, but it's not awful either, But it's good enough that, you can at least have a good, you would at least be intrigued by it, you would at least get invested the whole way and not get bored. The final act of the movie, as usual, it's the best thing of the movie. Effects, the practical effects and the suitmation techniques all look very good, Some CG effects, and like I said, some of the CG effects look really bad, but the practical and the CG suitmation, I meant to say suitmation, not CG. The suitmation techniques go together very well, so I'm really glad that they stepped up their game with, when it came to the suitmation stuff. It's actually kind of similar to how they did with the Heisei movies, but this is the Millennium series we're talking about. Anyway, so yeah, that was my review of Godzilla 2000 Millennium. I would recommend it if you're a Godzilla fan, if you're a fan of the Millennium series. Yeah, I would recommend it. This is, fun fact, this is the Godzilla movie that actually got me into Godzilla, believe it or not. Like, this is the first Godzilla movie that introduced me into Godzilla, besides the 98 movie. So yeah, I would recommend it. I would even recommend it to new fans. If you're not that familiar with Godzilla, I would suggest you watch this one. I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's definitely the good kind of average, but it's not like, it doesn't go all out, though. It doesn't really do anything all that exciting, all that, like, But yeah, I would recommend it. So that's my review of Godzilla 2000. So I've completed my first part of the Godzilla Millennium week, starting today. So tomorrow I'm going to review Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. So yeah, stay tuned for that.